Hello, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome back to Rangers Radio. Dundee United 1. Rangers winning one of the strangest games of football you'll ever see. Join myself, Oxford, back in the show. It's GFK.
Hi, Oxford. Nice to be back after the game. There's not a lot we can say about that today, was there?
Disappointing result. Disappointing chances. Big decisions let down by the referee. Chances to score umpteen goals. If that team defended like that every week, they would never lose a goal, would they?
No. You can see that in their demeanour.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody that comes, Rangers player, it's their cup final, you never see anybody else playing like that against Rangers, and that's no sour grapes.
Mm-hmm.
With 29 shots at goal a day.
Only 3 in target, but I don't know how many are actually blocked on their way to the goal.
Aye. 29. I think Alfie had about 7 of them on his own. Alfie
just inches away a few times for knocking it in, and we made a couple of times we made a bad decision. For instance, I mean, it's all fine margins. I think Scotty should have shot in the first half.
Aye.
When they try to pass it into Alfie, and then in the second half he puts it across the goal and he's got to hold it up, Yep. It's like a football. It's easy when you're watching, mate.
Yep, definitely. Totally agree with your analysis and analysation and that. But we didn't start playing till we actually scored. And then we looked as if we wanted to win the game. But the start of the game was pretty dire. I wanted them to be the same as what they were on Thursday, go up and at them. But
I thought we started the first 5-10 minutes, we were okay. Then they came into it. Then they got a bit of confidence for the corner kicks. And that's obviously what they were playing for. And they got the goal, and the boy gets a run in a lander. And, all right, could he have done better? Maybe, it's all ifs, buts and maybes. Yeah. He does it in the goal. We react well enough. We huffed and puffed a bit. Had opportunities to equalise, never really made the goalie work. But the second half, Jimmy, it was defence against attacker.
Of course it was. You could see that. I mean, the way they set themselves up. At one point, I counted there was 7 across the back when Rangers had the ball in midfield. 7 across the penalty box. And look, I suppose at the end of the day, I mean, they're 1-0 up and they're looking to keep that lead. They're playing against the best team in Scotland. So, but we know we come up against that week in, week out at Ibrox. Different when we go and play teams that want to play football at Dortmund and things like that allows you that space. But it was a hard shift for us and a hard list. Well,
I can't fault the manager. He tried to win the game. He done everything right.
Yep.
Dalio came on, and I don't think the boy likes the physical side of the game. I've seen that when he was backtracking. And then he breaks away and he goes through, and you think he's got to score. And he hits the post. If he'd have just squared it, it was into Sakala's got a tap in. These were the fine margins of the day.
He did, but he pulled out a blatant. With his Keithty cell. And then I don't know what he was thinking, because I mean, you're always taught no matter when you start playing is play to the referee, whistles, and the wee ding going that allowed him to run to the byline. He stopped thinking I'm offside. Go to
He wasn't offside.
You know what I'm saying? He's thinking he's offside. Go and get the ball till somebody tells you you're offside. No. Let the referee make that decision for you. Don't you make that decision easy for him. God, man, he was at least a yard and a half onside, never mind near it. So the decision making, I don't know, he'd a dig at goal and you're hoping that no. But I'm disappointed. Didn't expect that.
No.
Better than that.
Listen, we take our chances there. We win easy, but we never. And that's football. We still just need to keep going and win all our games and see where it takes us. But we'll get these phone lines open. I don't think they'll be as positive as the one on Thursday night.
No. I can think there'll be a few suspects who'll come in and tell us what they think. I've
got to say, I thought Tavernier in that second half tried to drive his own. It was just defence against attack. You could see the urgency of the guy. Different kinds of leadership. I know we've had a pop up at times, but I'm not saying he was man of the match or Silky, but any man, just his attitude I thought was superb.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get these lines opened. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yes, disappointing. A good goal, a Rebo goal, good finish.
Yeah.
And the ball just when they fought for us in the box, the number of people they had at times in the 6-yard box was frightening, wasn't
it? Yeah. As I say to you, I couldn't at 7 when Rangers had the ball in the midfield, and then when the ball did go into their 6-yard box, I would say at one point there was their whole 11 was there. And you don't see teams doing that against others, especially the unmentionables. It's their cup final when they play us, So we just need to dust ourselves down. It's disappointing. It's level on points until other games take place later on in the day, and we'll just see how that. For me, a defeat would have been a total disaster. But a draw.
Coming for you, understand your arithmetic. We just have to go and win all our games.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we kind of shot ourselves in the foot at times.
But listen, Jimmy, we had enough opportunities, enough situations to score. I'm being honest. I think the people's scores with 3 and 4s would have been correct if we just.
Yeah.
I mean, if the ball goes the other side of the post, if Dalcio's, if Sakala's fluke is in the goal again, he's worth 100 million if he's done it 2 weeks in a row,
I know we're going to get the usual suspects who come on. And I know my good friend Bridge will probably talk about it if he's on tomorrow night in his view from a Bridge and that. But I mean, the referee I thought was absolutely diabolical today.
2 big decisions there, mate.
Oh, well, the handball.
The first one, but the second one's a penalty all day long, mate.
The same sort of tackle, if you want to call it, or altercation, happened in the middle of the park, and he booked one of their players for hauling back one of yours with the jersey. So why is it if it's a free kick out there, why is it a free kick in there and a penalty?
It was a penalty all day long.
All day long it was a penalty, mate. All day long. The 2 of them are penalties all day long. And that's no sour grapes. Look, this is what we're talking about. I'm 60-40 on the VAR thing. I think on Thursday night it worked for us very much so. The day I think in other games I think we've been done an injustice, it would have probably went for us, but we just need to go on with it and hope that things all pan out here the season, which they usually do. But let's not have a greeting match about the referees, because it wasn't the referees.
You're right, he did have 2 big decisions. That's about all he had to make 2
that's exactly.
Yeah, 2 big decisions. But we'll see what it took. I mean, the second half, McGregor could have sat in the stand, could he?
Aye.
I think they were hard up the park. Well, to be fair, when it came off goals and went back into them, they had their tactic of just getting punted up the park and see what happens. Particularly in the first half.
I thought the manager's tactics were very forward thinking. His substitutions, we're taking Hollander off and moving Lundstrom back there, bringing Sakala and bringing Diallo, and he knew it was not a win or bust, but let's go and see if we can win this. And obviously we know at one point there was a good chance that we looked as if we were, because we were all at him like a rash.
Once we got the goal, I'm actually surprised we never get another. If I'm being yeah.
Well, my thinking, I said to my boys sitting watching it, Nick's goal wins it, right? And I said, well, if they score, the game's done. But if we score, we'll go and score again. And we looked like the only team that was going to score again, and unfortunately it didn't happen for us. And disappointing, the amount of chances we got. Alfie was getting no service at all in the first half. Absolutely nothing in the first half. Second half, he was trying as hard as he could, missed a few chances. So, we can all be disappointed, Oaks here, but we go into the next game, which we'll obviously chat about during the week before it comes upon us. But the days about what happened today. And
there's a post-match show. I thought that at times, and try to help the forwards, I thought Bassey and Tav done okay.
Yeah.
There was times, if I'm being fair, that Morelos was isolated. We never get close enough to him. I feel at certain times he does some nice things in the ball, but his lack of pace in certain situations comes to the fore. I thought Aribo wasn't in the game much, but let's just get your thoughts, mate. Yeah.
I'd agree with Mr. That. And on hindsight, I wouldn't have played Hollander. I'd have probably went with Barisic and Bassey, and I know I feel Bassey's a better left back, But Hollander, to me, just didn't look. I don't know if he just didn't look fit. He wasn't up for it ever. Aribo wasn't he? Would there have been a point of bringing maybe Kamara on and maybe the second half of the second half?
I think it showed that having Aribo there was what. I think having Aribo there was worth it, mate. Yeah.
Having Aribo there eventually was worth it. Aye. But I mean the standout players for me was Bassey and Tav.
That's fair. At times their attitude was superb, mate. Aye. I thought Jack and Lundstrom were competent.
Yeah.
Competent and sort of controlled the traffic, if you like. But we needed something to happen. I thought Kent, when we got him the ball, there was times where I thought we should have fed him there, mate, if I'm being honest. Because every time he did do something, he was getting past him, wasn't he?
Aye, I mean, he started today what he did on Thursday night. He was running at players, and that's what you like to see. Defenders don't like that when a player's running up and he's a tricky player, the way Kent plays. And when he did do that, when him and Bassey combined on that left, then you could see there was something possibly going to happen, and it did when we get the goal. I wanted to see more of that, and we had the ascendancy, and I don't think they got into our half in the last 15-20 minutes nearly.
No. Anyway, we'll be interested what people think. I thought we'd have been busier.
Yeah.
Come and join us on 141 356 1972. Yeah, listen, we're disappointed in the result. There was situation in the games we were disappointed. What we can't be disappointed, mate, is the application and the effort they gave us.
No, you can't grumble at that. I think if you've done markings out of 10, you would probably be very favourable in getting the most of the marks. For me, apart from Diallo, who not for me, what I've seen so far. But the rest, Hollander, probably maybe a 5 or a 6. No, I just feel that whatever. I wasn't at the races at all. But no, he tried second half. You could see, especially Tavernier, he's trying to push his own. Bassey as well. Even to a point, Goldson was looking to get the ball into the box and that. And well, I think we had 9 corners in a good period in the second half. And
but the way they've set themselves up with Giants, the delivery's got to be good. But the
ball, of course,
it wouldn't fall for us, would it?
No, wouldn't fall for us. It's just the corner. A couple of corner kicks were very, very poor. But we need to be better than that at set pieces, which we usually are.
By the way, their goal in the second half, I mean, he had two saves, 2 or 3 cracking saves. The one that went the penalty kick when Aribo gets in front again. Clancy's at home. I'm just waiting for the net to bulge,
Aye, definitely. They were just good to. It was spoiling tactics, and hope to hit us in the break. And basically they did that. But look, we just need to analyse it. I know the gaffer will do that, and it's not about Thursday's game for me. It's about next Sunday's game for Motherwell. Thursday will take care of itself, but we play Motherwell at Ibrox next Sunday, and as we said before the show, Oxy, the bread and butter's the league.
Aye.
And we can't afford to fall any more behind. As I say, for me, a defeat, I would say again, I think would have been it would have been difficult. It would have been difficult, but we're only talking about a 3-pointer a one game, and it brings it back into the equation again, which we're quite capable of doing. But no when we come up against teams like that.
No, but we've got to take our chances and take the situations to score goals earlier, as Andy Felix always says, so we can push on, and that was the problem. We take our chances. They have to change their tactics, especially if we get the second goal, and then we pick them off. But we gave them something to hang on to the whole game. And okay,
sure.
You're from this.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Carry on, Jimmy.
Well, what you're saying there is that Aye, as soon as they scored, that's it. They knew they had something to hang on to. They could cling on to that. And that made their defensive work easier and their system easier because they knew that obviously that we had to come out and try and break them down. And they did what they always do. You know, you could see the way they set themselves up right at the start of the game. They set themselves up with a 5 across the back right away. You know, so eventually at one point, as I say, that it went to about a 6 or a 7 across the back. So they were happy to do that. And then when we were getting free kicks or corner kicks, they just flooded the box, especially in the 6-yard box. I've never seen so many players in a 6-yard box in a long time.
Aye, I mean, that was, you know, they had everybody back. And so did we, set pieces, but they were all just defending the goal, literally, you know.
Definitely. And I mean, the boy Seagrass, well, he had a couple of good saves. The one that should have been a penalty, I mean, it was a good save he made. But apart from that, did we really trouble him?
We took him out a few situations in Alfred sliding in, and we never made the right decision. And as I said, the Dalio squares it. Sakala's walking the ball into the goal, mate. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But I mean, I don't mean we could, if we picked out somebody that I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't play for us again, but Diallo needs to be taken into a wee dark room and get a good shaking. You know, that's not the way you should.
I think they paid 18 million up front or 19 million up front with him. We add-ons up to 37 million. Wow.
No, Sakala looked bright when he came on. When he got the ball, he was looking to run at them. A couple of nice wee touches, and the one, was it a cross or was it a shot? It just skimmed the bar.
If it was a bit lower, it's in because the goal didn't even move. He didn't even move.
No.
And I didn't even notice it hit the bar. I thought he just scooped right across the park. I
don't think any did till they started to put the replay and said, did that hit the bar? And yeah, it did, aye. So that, obviously we're going to take it. It's beautiful to see again, but no, he let the game up a bit for us, and that was pleasing to see. But
he's going to do some strange things. He's going to follow the ball, and then he's going to do some wonderful things. Yeah,
he's a Ted McMahon, mate.
Aye, well, that's fair, mate. That's fair. He's going to do some wonderful things, and then he's going to follow the ball.
Aye. Because he doesn't know if it's 2 lefts or 2 rights he's got. And that's the way Big Ted was a tin man.
We've been joined by Jamie. Afternoon, Jamie.
Hi, Ox.
Hi, Jamie.
Alright, guys. I'm phoning up to give my thoughts, although I don't really know if I want to give my thoughts. I'm not upset about what happened today, to be honest.
Oh. He must have got the Kleenex out he's trapped in. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. And then he'll be back in a second, hopefully. I get it, mate. We've been upset and we're disappointed. We drew a football match, you know, and it's no terminal, JFK.
No, it's no terminal. You know, the only thing is that you look at the amount of points that we've dropped.
Oh, that's disappointing. The Ross County game, Aberdeen game. I think that Jamie's back ways. All right, Jamie.
Hi, I don't know how much you heard of that there.
Nothing apart from A.
All right, okay.
Give us your thoughts.
Aye. See, to be honest, I'm quite happy with the effort we showed in the second half. I do agree with what you're saying about Tav, but driving us on in that. Got a couple of problems with corner kicks now. I think we're conceding too much corners and then we can't defend them. And last year under Gerrard we had Kamara or Davis on the post. At least one of the posts were covered and we don't seem to be doing that at all. Mm-hmm. But in the last 6 months I can't mind us having a man on the post, and I think that he's looked at, especially when McGregor's not going to come and catch a ball and he's the keeper. The other thing I was thinking is Arfield. For me, I think that's the last 2 games he's been the first sub half. And I don't know if he's physically up to it anymore with regards to the pace of the game. I think he slows it down and breaks us up a wee bit. And I know he's a popular player amongst the support and that, but
we like him. We like Scotty the bloke, but we've got to critique what we say as in the match, mate. I think he's a guy, when it comes after him, his flicks and his angles and his disguised passes and his runs, he's superb. But when you make a flick and it doesn't come off, Jamie, you're open to criticism, yeah?
I felt it happened often today. Like I always look at his games, like, because I notice it, and a lot of my pals are like, "Oh, we love Scotty Arfield and that," and I get that he drives us on and he's got the passion. I would probably rather have him in the team than Diallo the day. He shucked out a 50-50 and then didn't play on when he was on side. I don't think that boy realises how important this season is for us, that we can't have that in our team. You had Sakala flinging his cell diving header, him off with a head knock, trying to get the goal in the last 10 minutes. That's the type of players we need, the type of people we need in a dressing room. No guys that boy doesn't really look like he's played senior level at any, because that's not acceptable at our club. I don't know how he's going to get on at Man United.
No, I said that. I don't know if you heard me before. 18 or 19 million pound for that ball with add-ons. I don't think they'll need to worry about the add-ons, but you never know. He might kick on and surprise us, Stranger things have happened.
We've given him a platform. His first game, Joe Rebo put the ball on a plate for him to score. The fans have got a song about him already. What more do you want for us? He needs to give more for us. And we've given him this opportunity.
I would argue when he was running through, he should have scored, or he squares it as a Sakala, mate. Ultimately, when you hit the post, and unless it goes off the inside of the post, you've not hit the target. So he actually missed, 7 yards, something like that, because the goalie stood back on his line, didn't he?
Yeah. That wasn't the bit that annoyed me about him. Like, everybody misses chances, but I get he's maybe made the wrong decision. He should have squared it, but it was the 50-50 when they were in attacking us.
He's not going to do that, mate. He's one of the players. That's no his game. But if he scores at the other end of the park and does his job, what he's meant to do, you get away for a lot. But what I will tell you, it wasn't a good look. Anyway, talking about people who aren't a good look, we'll be joined by Andy for Leeds. Afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon, boys. That's very, very disappointing, that, to me. It's like what I've said to you before in the past. Are we good enough when it comes to it? Have we got the quality? With enough chances to win 4 games there. That boy from Manchester, I'm Christian Gio. I mean, if he's a manager, he's bringing him on in a game like that. Well, okay, maybe there's something in the contract in that. The Biggie Lander, right, we're saying he's the best defender at the club, still stand by that. Maybe he's not enough game time, but no centre-half because you should get out jump like that. That's the shocking goal to lose.
I mean, if you think about it, mate, the Lander done it to them when we scored the goal at Ibrox. The defender gets a run in you, he gets above you. It happens in a game of football.
It does, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. Maybe this is why we're... look, we're going to lose this league. We're going to do what I always say. We'll draw it away. We'll not lose many games, but we don't have that quality with it. Listen, anybody that's got quality, or a wee bit of quality about them, the chances we made in that second half, that game would have been dead. And this is a reoccurring problem with Rangers. You make chances, but we can't kill games off when it matters. I've been constant on that. It's so disappointing. I can't believe they've gone and done that. Or can I? Possibly I can. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't agree with Shugs. I'm completely in your camp with the referees are just being blatant, apart from the one that I mentioned the other week. But I'm going to question their 2 decisions today. But they shouldn't have mattered. There's no possession made in that second half.
I tend to agree with you. If we put the ball in the net, you're not questioning them. Or we might be discussing them, but not at the same level. Jimmy, what I carry, and I said it before, I don't think that was a performance like Aberdeen or even Ross County. I think it was just the way that team played, and they kicked everything off the park, and they defended for their life. It was,
you can't fault probably 99% of the players for endeavour and hard work. Like Diallo, he was hopeless for what he. I mean, I said the word name, he's a wee kick bag, But look, we're not saying we're happy, but it's not a disaster. Is the word? I don't like using it because that other didn't use it, but look, it's not the end of the world, but it's really disappointing to see that result today after the positivity we've had the last 3 or 4 days, Ox, here. So, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
In hindsight, and it's hindsight, Jamie, see when they made the substitutions, would they have been better going with Roof up the middle with Sakala, Morelos and leaving Sakala and Kent wide?
A Roof might have come on. I don't know what you're going to get with Roof because he's not played well for a couple of months, I don't think. So with Morelos, you always take a chance, I think, just because he is that good. So I don't think the subs were wrong the day. I thought they were right. I thought they could maybe have been made earlier. With Hollander coming off a bit earlier. I thought Arfield and Hollander could have come off at half time.
I was thinking that.
I wouldn't have brought Roof on necessarily for Morelos because Morelos can always get you a goal.
I'm not saying for Morelos. When they made the substitution, when he brought on Dalcio for it was Hollander. Could you not just brought on Roof for Hollander and went with Roof up top with Morelos? Yeah.
No, I thought he was the right choice, Gallo. It was good that you had the two wingers. But
I'm saying you'd have went with Kent and Sakala and JFK.
In hindsight, again, it was a rank substitution, you know. If to embarrass, I know you don't want to do it, but I'd have taken them off. See, as soon as he shut away for that ball, I'd have taken them off. I
can live with that, Jimmy, if he puts a ball in the net the other end.
If he puts a ball in the net the other end, obviously you can forgive him for that. But for me, I just don't see is it in the back of his mind, I'm a possible £38 million player and I don't want to get hurt here. Well, that's the name of the game. All sports like that, contact sports. So for me, it went right down to my estimation, what I saw today. And I'd have taken Arfield and Hollander off at half time. And in hindsight, I'd have played Roof before I'd have played the Arrow.
And kept Sakala and Kent as a wingers. But it's happened now, Andy. Hindsight's
well, we can't change it. I agree with what you said there. Right enough. I mean, we know Roof's not been playing well, but they drop downs that was coming about in the box there. Yeah, Roof usually sniffs them out, so we'd have possibly got a second, but it's gone. We've got to move forward now. I mean, we know what's in front of us on Thursday, but I'm worried about that. It could be 6 before we kick a ball against Motherwell. That's the one that's worrying me now. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to go. 3's bad enough for me now. I worry about the mentality of some of them. Now, if we're chasing 6, you could see what could happen there. I hope I'm wrong, and I'm going to stay positive because it's only one game, mm-hmm. And but what worries me is we were 7 points in front and we're saying it's only one game.
Blew it, mate.
That's what worries me.
We blew it, mate, if the truth be known.
Oh, we blew it. As it stands now, I have.
I'm sure we'll debate that for the call. Anyway, we'll be joined by Bo Star. How are we doing, Bo Star?
Oh, gutted, same as the rest of you, Ox, honestly, you know I'm not a supporter of the guy. I hold my hands up, but I'm glad Thingby just came out the new there. Jimmy got it bang on. Arfield and Hollander should have been taken off at half time, and I know hindsight's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry, guys. I tell you the other night, Ox, I watched that rerun of that Dortmund game 3 times, and if you count the touches that Arfield touching that ball, you tell me what he done out there. You tell me, don't come away with us. He was watching somebody. He's not there to watch somebody. He's there to play football. 3 touches in that first half of the day, and he gave the ball directly back to a Dundee United player. He's not even finding his own players. Now, it's not about Arfield. I'm only making that as a point. The first half, Ox, we knew, every single one of us have been saying since Thursday, we had to come out and start in the front foot. Now, I'm sorry, that first half, we were diabolical. We created absolutely hee-haw. And then the wee guy that we got for Man United, for goodness sake, through 1-1, Jimmy's bang on. The guy crapped it. You shouldn't kick another ball for us. I'm sorry. And you've got, and when it gets to the stage, we've threw so many points away. We've blew it big time, Ox. We really have. This is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
JFK.
There's no other. You can't dress it up, any.
Well, let's answer your questions then, GFK.
I agree with a lot of things with Blue Stars, although I did thought that Hartfield did a good game on Thursday night, but the day just wasn't at the races, and I said the same as Andy. I mean, I would have taken him off at half time, and Hollander, definitely. And you've got my feelings now on Diallo. For me, if you're going to pull out a tackle like that, I know he could have had a goal second half, but for me, he'd been better squaring the ball to Sakala and been a tap in. So if people think that guy's worth £37 million, then I hope he never get an option to buy him because he's garbage.
Aye, look, it's gone, and look, I understand about what it looks like when he pulls out the tackle. I get that. I understand that. And it's not a good look, is it, Jamie? It's not a good look, but he could have been a hero if he puts the ball in the back of the net.
I know he is a player that we've brought in to try and give us attacking flair and that, and I still think he could contribute between now and the end of the season, but I really think there must be words in that dressing room about what's expected.
The trouble is, it's a big step up to play men's football, and he's obviously been playing Man United's under-23s. All right, there'll be a fair side with a lot of good players, but then you go into that cut and thrust. It's a different game. But he wasn't the sole reason we never won the game. You know, we never kept to zero and we never scored enough goals. It's as simple as that, Andy.
Of course it is. I mean, we had enough chance in that second half to bury it, you know, and this is what worries me. We don't have that wee bit of know-how or savvy to take these games out, and we should be now. A lot of their players have been there long enough. They know what they're up against. You know, I mean, Morales had an absolute... He'd one of them games where everything that he was in front of, he missed. I mean, I'm not blaming him long term because he's a goal scorer and he's a main goal scorer, but he should be scoring some of them. Jeez, I mean, they're tap-ins. And the boy from Manchester, he'll have a part to play for me. He could chop the oranges at half time. He's absolutely gashing, absolutely. He's pathetic. I mean, Scotland, that's not a nature that we accept. No, we don't lay down to anybody whether we win or lose. You know, I can't accept that.
Not a good look, is it? It wasn't a good look. You know? No. It'd be different if he'd have got the ball and done something, but you know.
Also, they'd already beat us up. They'd already done us up there, right? Mm-hmm. So we knew what to expect. We know we were away playing in a hard game on Thursday night. We all knew that. But most of all, the players must have known what they were getting out to face. And for the first whistle, Ox, there was too many players that are second best to every ball. We can't accept that. And our manager's got to come out. I want to hear the manager coming out after this game. I'm telling you, I want to hear him really going to town. I
don't think that's going to happen. I'll give you a chance to watch it back again. But if you watch even the first half, apart from a 10-minute spell run about their goal, we dominated. We made the wrong decisions in front of goal. Never pulled the trigger at the right time. Overplayed at times. But the possession was, I think it was 75-25. They're playing with literally even a centre forward coming back in and making it 5 across, basically 5-5 GFK, weren't they?
Aye, but they set their stall out right at the start. You know, it was basically a 5-4-1, and when they got the goal, that was them fed. Then that was them. What they had to do was just sit back and they just flooded that defence, especially at corner kicks. When we saw there was 11 players were there in the box, and I suppose that's what you've got to do. But when you're defending a corner kick or a free kick, but that was the way they played most of the game. So we can fault them all we want and say it's anti-football, but at the end of the day, they're not there to let Rangers run there and attack them.
We've got to improve in the situations. And
of course we have.
Make the right decisions in front of goal. We've been scoring goals, Jamie, but we never the day.
I know. I don't think we played too bad, to be honest. I thought we were all right, but Dundee United deserves credit for. There was like three players making one block at one point, you know. So they obviously raised their game against us. So you've got to credit them to an extent. But if we did have VAR in Scottish football, we'd have get potentially 2 penalties. Mulgrew showed the studs on. Was it Arfield in the first half? He could have been off the park and all. So there's loads of things that could have changed that result. I think if it was 2-1, we'd have be feeling a bit better today, but we did actually play all right, I felt, and I thought Bassey, for me, had one of his best games in the Rangers jersey again. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, bombing up and down that left side. I thought his delivery was amazing. Him and Kent are starting to get a relationship, and I hope he plays left back against Dortmund, Bassett.
Well, it's who would play at centre back, because Big Hollander just didn't. Even the goal's the goal, but there was times where he just looked. I'll say a quarter of a yard different. Listen, if you don't mind, get yourself in mute. We're going to hear from your manager.
Giovanni, what's your overriding emotion after that today?
Well, the first emotion, of course, disappointment that we didn't win here. I think I don't know how many chances we created. I think the most chances we created this season to score. I mean, that's but eventually the chances has to be scored, and that's what we didn't do today, and that's why we lost points.
You had to be patient. Once you got the equaliser, did you feel that you would go on given the amount of possession and chances you had?
Yeah, of course. I think also the first half we were good, not dominating, but good. And then we knew with the set pieces against, they were getting dangerous moments. I think second half was only one way. And once we scored the first goal, you see the momentum was for us. And I think created enough chances to win this game. And that's the only thing we didn't do well today.
In the first half, there was a claim for a penalty when Ross Graham looked at the ball hit his hand. Then in the second half, a tug on Morelos. What did you make of those incidents?
I mean, my standing point. VAR it will make it easier, and now, these decisions which can be turning points. They can change the games, but there's no VAR, so end of discussion.
But when it's tight in the table, it could change the title race as well.
I know, but I mean, what can we do? There's no VAR, so every decision that the referee will make, it cannot be overturned. So we have to respect the decision he made and make sure, we see last Thursday where a VAR decision to change the game for us. Today maybe as well, but we can talk for hours here, but the discussion ends because there's no VAR.
Is there anything you feel your team could have done better today?
Yeah, only the chances we created. I think we, 29 chances we created today. Well enough to win against Dundee United here in their own ground, but we didn't. That's why we lost points.
Appreciate your time. Good luck on Thursday.
Bye.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
He's right, Jimmy. We can argue about it and the complexity of this, that and the next thing, but there ain't no VAR, so we just have to move on. And the reason we never won the game was the fact that we never put the ball in the net.
Yeah, and I don't think I've heard any of us here actually say no, we would have got the goals if it was VAR, right? It's bad refereeing that's causing that, and the gaffer's right. I mean, if the referee's made a decision, he's made the decision. So decisions like this have to be looked at better, there's got to be some sort of penalties for referees when they make blatant mistakes like that. As I said at the start, how can you book a man for pulling a jersey in the middle of the park yet you don't give a blatant penalty kick? Look where the linesman's standing, he's looking right at it.
Aye, the linesman said two incidents, mate.
Aye, so it's not nothing to do with VAR. It's about we need better referees and we need more consistent referees. VAR will come eventually, right? I mean, as I said, we saw what happened on Thursday night. VAR worked for us because it showed the unfairness of the handball. And that was it a handball? Was it no handball? VAR made that decision. We don't have VAR in Scotland. We know that, so it's not a moan about us no having VAR. My moan is the referees need to be more consistent, especially for blatant handball and a blatant penalty, the way it was pulled. So that's my big argument. On the team, I agree with the gaffer 100%. With a lot of endeavour, we played well in a lot of bits of the games. We had fantastic amount of chances and just couldn't put the ball in the net. We just move on to the next game and see where that takes us. But it's disappointing, if it was 2-1, I think it was Jamie. We'd all been sitting here happy.
Aye. 3 points is what we wanted at the game. It was all about the 3 points, Jamie. And ultimately, we failed. And the team will get criticism because we never scored enough goals, and that's simple.
Just one of the days, but it's because we have dropped points recently that this is taking its toll a wee bit. But out of the points we have dropped, the day was by far the best performance. So there's not much you can really do. You can pick the bones out it if you want. I'm sure they'll do it. But when we're talking about chance creation and things, that we did have a lot of set pieces. I don't know if Tavs should be on every single set piece, and I don't think anybody else took one the day apart from Lundstrom for one, which was crap as well. But I think we could be better at them.
We didn't get them in the mix, and obviously with a couple of free kicks outside the box, I think we hit the wall twice, didn't we? Hit the ball twice, with the free kicks just outside the box side.
I still think our centre halves, mate, have got to be far, far more commanding than what they are. But honestly, I do. I think for boys coming into there, I don't know about the rest of these. I can only speak my own mind. I have a fact in me that whenever I see high boys coming into the penalty box, honestly, I panic because I don't think we have one guy there that is totally commanding in the air. I honestly don't.
But no, because of Alan's, the way he plays in goal, Andy, the point is that we've not got a kind of goal that comes and clears somebody out, have we?
Yeah. No, he's not commanding. What worries me as well is he's getting older right enough. He don't seem to have that, that sharpness, I don't know. I mean, he must get what you call, as Blue Stars just say, I tend to agree with what defenders. With that kind of mind that they've got, if you've not got a strong goalie behind you as well, can create problems as well. So it's
a strong goal. It's just the way he wants to play the game. He stays in the line.
Yeah.
Anyway, hold your horses. You might as well all go, lads, because we've been joined by Magpie after.
How you doing, lads? Long time no here. No, I just want to say, for the start of the season, mate, sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up and say that, like last year, things went for us at the right times. The incompetence of them as well, and we played as a team. For the start of the season, the Malmo game, mate, it's been a disaster. Gerrard's body language of some of the players, and it's just, we managed to get ahead 7 points to league. Now we're effectively going to be 3 points behind. And let's not just make no bones for us, lads. Decisions have been going for them, and decisions have been going against us. And you have a media who will play this, like, penalty to Rangers, and they'll just debate it all the time. And these things go against you when it comes to referees, the pressure on the referees in Rangers matches. But I'm not going to make any excuses up. Sometimes when you've got the luck, it goes a long, long way in Scottish football, and we definitely don't have the luck. Bad.
The day was a classic example.
Well, not just that, mate, but a January signing thing, mate. When Ramsey came in, everybody was jumping up and down, and I thought to myself, is this going to be our new crank here? Is he going to be coming on and being fit when it's too late? Because I really can't see him dropping that many points, mate, to be quite honest, because I just seem to see they get 7 minutes added time on the matches, or they find a way. They're guys, they're all right, they're crap in Europe, but their guys have come in here and they've kicked off straight away. Do you know what I mean? Whereas we are struggling to put the same 11 players on the park every week. They're chopping and changing. We let Defoe go, which I found, although people might think that's strange, he's 37, 30. I still think he's probably behind Morelos, or even in front of Morelos, is the most natural striker we've got, who knows the way to go. And then you wouldn't pay the extra money to bring a centre-half in, and we're playing a left-back at centre-half in matches who struggled against Ross County. The goalkeeper, he's older now, he's not got reflexes, and I still think the central midfield is still a bit too immobile. No, we got that fantastic result, but this game's not over. We know that game's not over on Thursday night. Yeah, they're a step up for any of the teams we played. And if we can lose to that mob, now the funny thing is, what's really getting me, mate, is the fact that this team, this poor Celtic team, could win a treble. And it really has taken away the gloss for last year from me. I don't know about you guys.
Well, you're always disappointed there for the day's game. JFK.
How you doing, Magpie? Magpie's making a lot of great points here, without getting angry about it. And I mean, well, luck's no there, and luck makes a lot of things in life, and our luck's no there. I mean, the penalty decisions, the 7 minutes added on, the same as how Magpie's thinking, and I'd agree to a point that the shine's kind of taken off, because we were motoring. 1st of December, my birthday, we were 7 points ahead, and look at us now. We're now in a possibility at the end of the day we could be 3 points behind, and I'm with Magpie. I don't see them that many points, if any at all, and it's going to be up to us to keep winning and beat them at the Dome, and then obviously beat them at Ibrox in order for us to win the title. But we need to start putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, goals win prizes as well, not just points. And there's no scoring enough goals, Ox here. So let's not get despondent.
We've been scoring enough goals, and arguably up to the day. And I can't. With situations, Magpie, where we should have scored goals. We never, apart from the Dalseo one, there wasn't too many sitters as such, but it was we just made the wrong choices.
No, I agree with you, mate, but still, you see, the difference is when Gerrard left, talking about luck, Gerrard left when we were in a semi-final of a cup, and then we went on performed the way we didn't perform at all. We were out-muscled, out-fought by a bang average, and I'm going to be upfront honest with every team in Scotland, right, a Rangers apart, a bang average. Right, and I'm including them in that, right? And as you found out, when they play a proper team and they don't have Scottish referees refereeing their games, you'll find out just exactly how good they are, right? And we made them look to be world beaters, where we stood off them and stood off and stood off them. The application's just not been there for a number of players for the start of the season, and there are players that may be trying too hard and, like snatching at chances and stuff like that. But be honest with you, Morelos just came back and he made a difference. All right, he wouldn't have a great game a day, but he's made a big difference. He was for once we've seen a guy with a snarl in his face, a guy that looked as if he was interested. Before that, Ross County and all these games against Aberdeen away, that was probably the worst game, Aberdeen away, to let Scott Brown and guys like Bates. We should be hammering teams like that, mate, and that's the truth of the matter. And you can't make any excuses for it. You know what I mean? Apart from, yes, they're getting a lot of results, a lot of dodgy decisions, a lot of offsides, but they're getting away with it. We've got to make our own luck, and we just don't look as if we're capable. I just don't. I agree with the boys. I think like Arfield's one of these guys. I prefer him as an impact player rather than starting him, to be quite honest with you. Bringing him on, but
maybe in hindsight, that was a mistake today because of Thursday nights.
Well, playing that young boy, I don't understand you to bring that boy into Scottish football, because he's no cut out for that kind of football.
It's no streetwise, is he? We're being polite there.
I mean, some players short straight away. Do you know what I mean?
He could have been the hero today, Magpie.
No, yeah, definitely no. But as I said to you, last year, Lennon and them, they imploded, and that went to a benefit. And they were doing what we were doing. They were dropping stupid points. If somebody said to you, it's going to be draws, it's going to bugger us up this year, and you know what I mean? And it's like stupid draws. You can have 80% possession. But the Ross County, when McGregor threw the ball in the net twice, basically, I would have thought, that's boy McLaughlin's not a lit Rangers doing. He deserves a chance, mate.
He's old today, mate, so he couldn't.
No, but we'd have played. This is the thing. Do you honestly think he'd have played? We're going to have to start making these choices. But my worry is that Ramsey's going to come in when it's too late, and if he does come in, and basically he's came in and he's injured apparently, so we lost Hadji. A lot of people don't like Hadji, don't rate Hadji, but Hadji's he's got that little final pass or something that maybe won that magic.
Everybody knows that Hadji's one of my all-time favourites, but I'd rather have Hadji on the park than Dalio. Anyway, we've reached that time in the afternoon. Andy, thanks very much, mate.
No problem, Pop.
We'll speak to you next time with a bad result. Amy, thanks a lot, mate, for the call.
Right, cheers.
And Magpie, always a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much, lads.
All right, mate. Speak to you soon. Don't be a stranger. Phone in during the week. We'll get 2 hours to kill.
Take care, buddy.
JFK.
It was nice to hear some familiar voices, especially Magpie. I can hear the disappointment in a lot of our face, but there's no anger there, which is good. And it was one of the games, so let's move onwards and upwards to the next game, which obviously is Thursday against Dortmund at Ibrox. So it was nice to be on again and be your sidekick, Oxyear, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thank you very much.
All right, can I thank Magpie? Always good to hear from Magpie.
Thank you.
I'm Jamie, Andy, and of course Blue Star. JFK for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Thanks to everybody for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night on the one and only Bridge in Southside will join us. Thanks for listening. Hopefully enjoy the rest of your day. Take it away, Old School Blue.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Let's held on high, for the jersey they will do or die. Fight for time, play the game with a mind of glory. Winners of gold, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you. Loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Follow their drill, marching on to the songs of glory. Winners of road, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you. Loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys.